America's potato growers are proud to be producers of a staple of the American diet and grow this high-quality, affordable food in an environmentally friendly manner. The National Potato Council, the unified voice of potato growers, applauds farmers for their commitment to environmental stewardship. Annually, it recognizes two growers for reducing pesticide risk on their farms without compromising yield or quality. The winners of the 2009 National Environmental Stewardship Award are David Radke of San Luis Hills Farm, Fort Garland, Colorado, and James Tiede of James Tiede Farms, American Falls, Idaho. San Luis Hills Farm is located in the south-central Colorado Valley from which it takes its name.
The San Luis Valley is 100 miles long by 50 miles wide, and the altitude is about 7,800 feet. It's surrounded by mountains from 10 to 14,000 foot, and that gives us a really good advantage of keeping out certain pests or certain problems we don't have because I think of that isolation.
The farm has 3,800 acres of irrigated land, with 1,800 acres planted mostly in russet potatoes. Radke also grows potatoes for the purple chip market and fingerlings that are popular at restaurants. An 8,000-acre cattle ranch is part of the operation and plays a key role in building a good, sustainable system.
What we do in the summer on the ranch, we kind of have some fall and spring pasture. And then during the summer, about 4 years ago, we started planting winter triticale and rye, and we do the summer pasturing up there. The benefit is that cow pasture rotation, instead of like a small grain crop, we get a lot of organic matter in the soil from the cows grazing. It's hard to figure, but I figure it's probably at least 20 tons of the acre. And since we've done that, our soil pathogen problems in the potatoes have been dramatically reduced. And our yields after cow pasture are about between 40 and 50 sacks more per acre.
Radke's strategy for dealing with pests is monitoring and more monitoring. He also relies on beneficial insects for help.
One of the things that I learned years ago was early on to try to avoid broad-spectrum insecticides because you're killing off your beneficials needlessly.
Instead, Radke uses softer chemicals to knock down the pest population and let the beneficials do the rest. He follows a plan to lessen the chances for pests to develop resistance and tolerance to insecticides.
We never follow the same class of pesticides one after another. Some of the new pesticides, because of the way they're more targeted, are actually more susceptible to that resistance, so we've got to keep what we have.
Radke plants trap crops on the edges of his potato fields to intercept aphids that transmit mosaic disease. The rye, triticale, and other crops provide habitat for wildlife. In the corners, he utilizes the hoof action of grazing cattle to stimulate the growth of native vegetation, which helps stop wind erosion. For Radke, stewardship of the land is utilizing what works well in nature with precision science for the best results.
All our sprinklers are calibrated on the farm. We know exactly, if I want to put on a half an inch, I know exactly what to set it for. You know, we time them within seconds to get them so they're putting on exactly the amount of water we want. If you don't manage your farm sustainably, you won't stay in business. I mean, it's as simple as that.
James Tiede Farms is located in southern Idaho's high desert region by American Falls. The farm reached an important milestone in 2009.
This summer we celebrated our 100th year in the same place. My grandpa came from Germany in 1908 and homesteaded here with the Carey Act, broke out 160 acres of sagebrush and established the farm.
The dryland wheat farm was converted to an irrigated sugar beet and potato farm after World War II by Tiede's father.
My first spud crop was in 1975, so I've been growing potatoes here on this farm for a long time too. And now my son has come back from college and decided to pursue vocation of farming. He got his business degree and is now the fourth generation on the same place.
With keen understanding of this land, Tiede places a high value on stewardship while producing quality potatoes for French fry processors.
Crop rotation is a key component to helping to minimize amounts of chemicals and pesticides. We try to adhere to a 4-year rotation, meaning that the potatoes are only planted into that field every 4th year. It improves your soil tilth and disease buildup. We plow down that stubble from the wheat and the corn stover, and it really adds to the tilth of that soil.
Potatoes are grown on roughly 900 acres of the 3,200-acre farm. Minimum tillage is used to increase the crop residue on top of the soil. Tiede also uses biofumigation instead of chemical fumigants to kill harmful microscopic worms ahead of his potato crop.
The most recent research has shown that the brassica family plants, which are the mustards and the radishes, have a natural occurring compound which will kill those bugs. So we started planting in the fall. After we take our wheat or our peas off, we'll plant this mustard. And it gets up about 4 or 5 feet, bright yellow blossom. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then we'll mow that down and plow it in, and that oil that's in that plant will kill those bugs naturally.
Scouting or monitoring insect populations enables the farm to make prudent, economical use of pesticides.
We use consultants who are in the field twice a week, along with our fertilizer field man, and also the French fry company's field men are also monitoring the fields, along with ourselves. And with that integrated pest management plan, we use only the minimum amount of controls. If we see some aphids or beetles coming in, we'll border spray first rather than spray the whole field.
An avid hunter, Tiede is committed to providing habitat for game birds that nest there.
On our farm, we put shelter belts in and nesting areas in our irrigation ponds and leave feed plots. We'll leave some strips out in the fields with our combine. We'll just leave a little bit so those pheasants have something to eat during the winter. You know, that's when their high mortality is when the snow comes and they can't find any food.
Apart from the soil, water is the most precious natural resource on the farm, and Tiede has taken steps to protect and conserve it.
We've converted all of our pivots, all 23 of them, to low-pressure systems with drops and rotators, less evaporation, less runoff. We use what we call a reservoir tillage system, or a dam or diker, as most farmers call it, to put little dikes in the row crops so the water doesn't run off. It actually holds that water in those little pockets.
With a long history of caring for the land, James Tiede Farms is looking forward to the future.
We want this land and this farm to be healthy and environmentally sound and productive. We want to pass on this heritage, and so I want it to be here in another 100 years.
The Environmental Stewardship Award is a component of the Pesticide Environmental Stewardship Program of the National Potato Council and the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Sponsorship by DuPont Crop Protection helps make this award and video presentation possible. Congratulations to the 2009 winners.